Pay attention to the white sedan pulling into the driveway of 847 Pinewood Terrace. It's 3:17 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon in October. The neighborhood is quiet. Leaves are turning orange and red. A man steps out of the sedan, middle-aged, wearing khakis and a polo shirt. He walks to the front door with purpose. He unlocks it. He goes inside. His name is Gregory Hamlin. He's 42 years old, a systems analyst for a medical supply company, married for 16 years, father to 2 teenage daughters. He lives 3 miles away in a different subdivision. This is not his house. Within 2 hours, emergency responders would force entry into this home. What they found inside would trigger the largest human trafficking investigation in the state's history. Tuesday, October 12, 2021. The 911 call came in at 4:53 p.m. A neighbor, Patricia Sinclair, reported hearing someone screaming from 847 Pinewood Terrace. The house belonged to an elderly woman named Dorothy Vance, age 78, who lived alone. Mrs. Sinclair knew Dorothy kept to herself, but was generally in good health. The screaming had been going on for several minutes. It was desperate. It was terrified. Paramedics arrived first, followed by 2 patrol officers. They knocked. No answer. They called out. The screaming had stopped. The house was silent. Officer Ryan Blackwell made the decision to force entry. Protocol for welfare. Checks when there's evidence of distress. The front door splintered on the second hit. They found Dorothy Vance in the living room. She was conscious, but disoriented, sitting in her recliner with a blanket across her lap. She appeared confused by the presence of the officers. She couldn't explain the screaming. She insisted she was fine. She wanted them to leave. Something was off. Paramedic Lena Kowalik noticed. Dorothy's hands were trembling. Her speech was slightly slurred. Signs of a minor stroke, possibly. They needed to transport her for evaluation. Dorothy protested weakly, but eventually agreed. Officer Blackwell asked if anyone else was in the house. Dorothy said no. She lived alone. Always had. Blackwell did a sweep anyway. Standard procedure. The house was small. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a kitchen, and a living room. The first bedroom was clearly Dorothy's. Floral bedspread. Medications on the nightstand, a stack of large print mystery novels. The second bedroom appeared to be storage. Boxes, old furniture, a sewing machine. Everything seemed normal. Then Blackwell heard it. A faint sound coming from behind the closet in the storage bedroom. A soft thump. Then another, like someone bumping against a wall. He opened the closet door. Nothing but hanging coats and storage bins. But the sound was still there behind the back wall. The closet was 3 feet deep. But when Blackwell measured the room from the outside, it should have been at least 6 feet deep. There was a false wall. He felt along the edges, found a seam, pushed the panel, swung inward. Behind, it was a small room, no windows, a single bulb hanging from the ceiling, a mattress on the floor, a bucket in the corner. A young woman sat on the mattress. She was maybe 20 years old, thin, wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. Her wrists were raw and red. She didn't speak. She just stared at him with wide, terrified eyes. Officer Blackwell called for backup immediately. Her name was Isabel Navarro. She was 19 years old. She had been missing for 7 months. Isabel had disappeared from a bus stop in Columbus, Ohio on March 24, 2021. She'd been on her way home from her shift at a retail store. Security footage showed her waiting at the stop. Then a white sedan pulled up. A man leaned out the window. Isabel approached the car. She got in. The car drove away. Isabel was never seen again until now. Detectives arrived. Within the hour, Detective Mara Vincent took the lead. She had 17 years of experience, most of it in major crimes. She'd worked trafficking cases before, but this was different. This was a residential home in a middle-class suburb. This was someone's grandmother's house. Dorothy Vance was still at the hospital, undergoing evaluation. Detectives would need to speak with her, but Vincent wanted to process the scene first. The hidden room was approximately 4 feet by 8 Foot no ventilation except the gap under. The false wall. The mattress was stained. There were plastic water bottles lined up against one wall. A paper bag with protein bars. A flashlight. No phone. No communication devices. Isabel Navarro told detectives that she had been trapped in a small hidden room for several months. The room had no windows, no clock, and no natural light, so she had no way to keep track of time. Every few days, a man would come and slide food and water through a hidden panel, but he never spoke to her. Isabel had only seen him twice, and both times he was wearing a surgical mask. The only detail she clearly remembered was his white sedan with a dent in the rear bumper. One day, Isabel heard loud screaming somewhere in the house. She thought someone might be killed. Soon after, she heard people arriving and official voices. Hoping to be found, she started making noise, which eventually helped the police discover the hidden room and rescue her. During the investigation, detectives learned that the homeowner, Dorothy Vance, had no idea a girl was being held in her house. A man had offered her $500 a month to use her spare room as storage, and she believed he was keeping business inventory there. Using traffic cameras and the car description, police identified the suspect as Gregory Hamlin. A search of his home uncovered zip ties, duct tape, a taser, and a laptop containing detailed records of a human trafficking network. The FBI discovered that Hamlin was part of an organized trafficking ring operating across multiple states. Authorities arrested 5 core members of the network and rescued 6 additional victims who were being held in similar hidden locations. After an 8-month trial, the traffickers received prison sentences ranging from 18 to 45 years. Isabel eventually returned to her family and began rebuilding her life. She later enrolled in college and started working toward helping other survivors of human trafficking. The case also led to stronger laws and improved efforts to fight human trafficking, ensuring better protection for potential victims in the future. If you found this story interesting, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next mystery. And tell me in the comments, what do you think about this case? Your support really helps the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next story.